Hi everyone, I'm David Wojcik and this is MBOT TV. Welcome back for another season of MBOT TV. We trust you had a restful holiday and you're ready for a spectacular 2019. Business at the city ramped up quickly as the new Mississauga City Council is hard at work and your Mississauga Board of Trade is already in full swing advocating for you at all 4 levels of government. Let's dive in. Stories we covered this week. We are fast approaching Mayor Crombie's State of the City address. The city is poised to review the stormwater tax rebate system. Premier Ford signals changes to municipal government structures, and the Canadian Chamber of Commerce weighs in on the impact of a national pharmacare program on business. Welcome to MBOT TV, a weekly recap of what happened in business at the Mississauga Board of Trade and around the city of Mississauga. First up, our series on the corporate execution gap. Here's Fred Pitsadny from Focus Management with our Guru Gab tip of the week on assessing the weaknesses of your organization and how it affects your execution strategy.
Thanks, David. I think everyone is familiar with the SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. A major part of understanding your current business situation. Let's focus. I'm Fred. The SWOT analysis includes examining your own organization and identifying its most significant weaknesses. For most of us, this is not much fun. Doing it well requires objectivity and honesty. A solid assessment of weaknesses, one that focuses on things that are important to the customer and considers key competitors, provides important insights into your ability to win the game. Once you have a clear view of your position, you have choices to make. Improve one or more important areas, or change the rules of the game, making your weaknesses insignificant. When Michael Dell founded Dell Computer, he didn't have a distribution network, no bricks and mortar, no retail storefronts. Instead of trying to compete with the big computer companies on their terms, he changed the game and revolutionized forever how computers are bought and sold. Look for ways to improve your game or change the way it's played. Make it happen. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Fred. The annual Mayor's State of the City address, hosted by MBOT, which is normally held in September, was delayed due to the municipal elections held in October. This year, the address will be held on January 29th at the Mississauga Convention Center. This event is a critical address where the mayor reviews the accomplishments, concerns, and vision for the future of Mississauga. Your Mississauga Board of Trade is proud to host this event each year and present the mayor's comments to you, our members. The stormwater tax, which has targeted businesses with large hard surface footprints for the past 4 years, was highlighted before the City Budget Committee by your Mississauga Board of Trade. MBOT has been working continuously with the city to bring to light the uneven distribution of this tax and the lack of participation by business due to the tremendously long return on investment periods. At the conclusion of the deputation, the mayor, members of the Budget Committee, which are essentially members of council, and city staff agreed to review this program with a view to make it more attractive for businesses in Mississauga to participate in stormwater control and mitigation. The City of Mississauga stormwater program and related fees continue to be a financial burden for business. Because of the nature of the calculation of the levy, large buildings with large parking lots are disproportionately affected by this tax. However, we recognize that Council has developed a credit program that can rebate up to 50% of the charge to a property owner if they implement stormwater mitigation retrofits at the property. Over the past few years, we have seen some, but very few, applications for this credit, and that remains a concern for us. Quite frankly, if the payback time frame is too long, the property owner will not invest the money on stormwater mitigation. Therefore, the problem continues to exist, and the city is not attaining its goal for stormwater flow control and mitigation. Your Mississauga Board of Trade will continue to work with the city to bring the ROI period for retrofit investments down to a 5 to 7 year time frame. Coming up is our political report with Brad Butt and MBOT's upcoming events listing. But first, are you looking for ways to save money on your employee benefits? The Chamber Plan can help.
The Chamber's plan now offers employee benefit programs with greater selection, higher coverage levels, and more value than ever before. Take another look and see why we're the choice of more small businesses than any other plan in Canada. The Chamber's plan. It's for your benefit.
Now for our political update. Here's our Director of Government Relations, Brad Butt. Brad?
Thanks, David. The provincial government has named a two-person panel to look at regional government in Ontario. The review will look for best ways of delivering municipal services, including possible amalgamations and the elimination of two-tier municipal government. Peel and Mississauga will certainly be affected by this review and could lead to Mississauga becoming an independent city. The Premier has also appointed former Mississauga Mayor Hazel McCallion as a special advisor in the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Mrs. McCallion will be primarily advising the province on housing policy in light of studies on housing supply and the Greenbelt currently underway. The Minister of Training Colleges and Universities announced last week a plan to reduce tuition fees in post-secondary institutions by 10% this September and change the rules around eligibility for OSTAP student loans and grants. The announcement was greeted by mixed reaction by both students and institutions. Well, the province is seeking input on the 2019 budget, auto insurance, and alcohol choice through its website. MBOT members participated in a pre-budget consultation with Finance Minister Victor Fedeli earlier today. The Ontario Chamber of Commerce released its pre-budget submission last week, which called on the provincial government to address tax competitiveness, enhance fiscal capacity for municipalities, address Ontario's infrastructure deficit, and adopt sustainable spending models. The Ontario government announced its Green Gas Fund transfers on January 8th, which will transfer more than $18.7 million to the City of Mississauga to fund important transit needs. This is a 4% increase over last year and supports both capital and operating expenses incurred by the MyWay system. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce has released its federal pre-budget submission, calling on the federal government to get a permanent tariff exemption for steel and aluminum and rapidly work to implement new trade agreements. It also calls for a robust review of regulations and a comprehensive review of the tax system in Canada. Finally, it calls for a stronger emphasis on innovation and to address the human resource and skilled trade gaps that exist throughout the country. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce has also released a paper about national pharmacare, warning the federal government not to radically change a system that works well for 97% of Canadians. It calls on the government to ensure they adequately consult the stakeholders in the pharmacare sector, including life sciences and insurance companies. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce has also released a position paper on carbon pricing in Canada on the eve of a national carbon tax. Their view is that this is the only cost-effective way to reduce carbon emissions in Canada, and when done right, carbon pricing can equip businesses for the transition to a lower carbon economy and reduce the overall regulatory burden. Well, both the City of Mississauga and Region of Peel are in budget talks, with both presenting their draft 2019 budgets to the MBOT Policy and Government Affairs Committee on January the 10th. If the councils adopt the staff recommendations, the commercial and industrial tax rate will rise by about 1.6%, and there will be a $2 per billing unit increase in the Mississauga Stormwater Levy. Mississauga has released its draft transportation master plan called Mississauga Moves. The draft plan offers a vision of freedom to move for the future of transportation in Mississauga, achieved through the pursuit of 6 goals: safety, freedom from harm; inclusion, freedom from barriers; integration, freedom of choice; connectivity, freedom of access; resilience, freedom to evolve; and health, freedom to flourish. Nearly 100 action items are proposed that can move Mississauga toward these goals. The draft plan is available for comment online at mississaugamoves.ca until February the 4th. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Brad. And here's what's coming up at your Mississauga Board of Trade. On January 25th, the Federal Minister of Small Business, Mary Ng, is at MBOT. The recently appointed minister will engage in a Q&A discussing issues affecting small business in Canada. This event is being held at the Hilton Mississauga Meadowvale. Book your tickets and tables now for the annual Mayor's Address coming up on January 29th. Listen to Mayor Crombie as she outlines her vision for Mississauga over the next 4 years and beyond. This event sells out each year, so register at www.mbot.com/events or call your membership services manager at 905-273-6151 today. On January 31st, Good Evening Mississauga is at Milestones in Heartland. This evening networking event provides light snacks, adult beverages, and a warm atmosphere to create new business relationships and build success for your organization. On February 6th, Membership Matters is at MBOT, a session for new members to discover all the great benefits that your Mississauga Board of Trade has to offer. Seasoned members are always welcome to stop by for a refresher. On February 7th, our annual Chairs Lunch, a gathering of Mississauga's elite business community to say thank you to our 2018 Chair of the Board, Paul Gasper from UPS. This event is a must-attend for top business leaders in the city. On February 13th, Good Morning Mississauga is at 4 Points by Sheraton, Mississauga Meadowvale. Come out and connect with your MBOT colleagues. Book a speaker spot. Where else can you make over 100 cold calls in just 2 minutes? On February 15th, MBOT's Professional Development Series continues with 4 strategies to kickstart 2019. 4 experts present ideas to help you get a jump on the competition for the upcoming year. Details about these stories and events are available at www.mbot.com. Until next week, this is David Wojcik, wishing you continued success in your business.